Hi, welcome to number 4 in the Into the Vertical Blank series on asteroids, games, clones, and variants for Atari home machines. In this edition, we are going to cover the Atari 7800. We're going to cover the Atari Lynx and the Atari Jaguar, and we're going to cover at least one modern version that can be played on the Atari VCS as well as some other modern machines. Okay, let me get back to my Atari 7800 Asteroids game. Asteroids on Atari home machines, number 4, the 7800, Lynx, Jag, and beyond. In the previous 3 episodes, we have looked at some good, excellent, bad, and a few ugly Asteroids variants on the Atari 2600, the Atari 8-bit computers, and the ST line of machines. You can find links to those previous videos in the description below. Note that the main videos for these games will be hardware captured. I also will be showing an emulated capture in comparison for each game, except for Lynx Asteroids and Asteroids Recharged. That way we can see any clarity differences. Okay, let's get started. Atari 7800 Asteroids, 1986. The pre-release name for this Asteroids cartridge was 3D Asteroids. The 3D spinning rocks gave this its initial name and were kept in for release. It's quite a nice version and is one of our all-time favorites, especially sitting on the couch playing side-by-side 2-player co-op. The official release year on this is 1987, but the manual says 1986. Atari 7800 Asteroids makes use of the standard up to thrust, left and right to rotate, and back to hyperspace. Additionally, the second button can be used for hyperspace. Let's take a quick look at the comparison of the emulated version with the one I captured on my real hardware. Reviews for the time of release are difficult to come by, but using the Atari Age compilation of internet-based reviews, it comes to a respectable average of 82%, with the venerable Video Game Critic giving it its highest rating of 95%. Let's take a look at a couple hacks of this game. Asteroids Vector Edition by Pac-Man Plus was released in 2005. It's exactly what it says. It replaces the colored rocks and shaded ship of the release version with very arcade-close vectors and retains the nice gameplay of the original. Let's take a look at a comparison of the emulated version with the one I captured on real hardware. Next up is the Atari 7800 Asteroids Deluxe from 2007. This is an Atari Age published release by Bob DiCrescenzo. This one includes the elements that make Asteroids Deluxe a unique and more difficult experience, such as the killer satellites that break into wedges, and also the shield as opposed to hyperspace as a defensive save. The Atari Age store reviewers give this 4.8 out of 5 stars. One thing to note is that Bob and his team were able to accurately recreate the descending musical notes of the arcade machine when the killer satellite wedges are all destroyed. I can't get this to occur every time I destroy them, like in the arcade, but it does occur sometimes. Again, let's take a look at a comparison of the emulated version with the one I captured on my real hardware. The Asteroids Deluxe Blue Hack by Unknown is also a 2007 release. It turns the green of the arcade into blue. A side-by-side comparison of the emulated version with the one I captured on real hardware is here. Atari 7800 Space Duel is another Atari Age published game by Bob DiCrescenzo. This one has the geometric shapes from the arcade Space Duel with both team and competitive play. It also adds the bonus stages and other various new alien ships to destroy. But it leaves out the tethered ships, possibly for technical reasons with floating point math and the 6502 processor. This has a 4.1 out of 5 rating on the Atari Age store. One of the main reasons why I recorded both emulated and the hardware captures was because of this game. As you can see, the emulated looks a lot clearer and much easier to see than my hardware capture. The Atari Lynx got its own Asteroids game in 1985 with Super Asteroids and Missile Command, a combination cart by Steve Marshiner. This was the official port release by Atari in a combo cart with Missile Command. The Lynx A button fires weapons while the B button is used for thrust. The joypad is used to rotate left and right. In this version you have shields that are automatically used and can be upgraded by picking up floating stars. You can also pick up more weapon upgrades such as 2 different types of super guns, smart bombs, and a super shield. This version includes the standard small and large saucers from the original game. The gameplay window is small, obviously because it's on a Lynx, and the power-ups are very difficult to obtain. In higher levels, I found this to be a very challenging game, as a single thrust towards a much needed power-up might start you in a chain reaction shield bump against all of the rocks in turn, sending you into a spiraling death. It's fun though, and worth a play. This cartridge has a 69% from Atari's compilation of reviews. The Atari Jaguar got its own set of Asteroids games. All of them that I could find were unofficial, later releases. Atari Jaguar Asteroid 2000. I was able to use my Jaguar Dev skunk board to test out the Sinister Developments Asteroid 2000 ROM and find what looks like an update to their ST Asteroids with new color graphics, but unfortunately no sound. It plays like a good Asteroids game though, with buttons to thrust as well as fire, as well as left and right on the D-pad. B is to fire, A is to thrust, but I didn't find a hyperspace button. Let's take a quick look at a comparison of the emulated version with the one I captured on my real hardware. In 2019, Rebooted released a multi-game cart for the Atari Jaguar. It contains Kobayashi Maru, Redx, a mini Asteroids, well really Time Pilot game. It's really more Time Pilot than Asteroids, but still it's really fun and I wanted to include it here. I was able to get the Kobayashi Maru final promo version running on my skunk board. Let's take a quick look at a comparison of the emulated version with the one I captured from my real hardware. And finally for the Jaguar we come to Rebooteroids, a 2016 release by Rebooted in the Atari Age store, and it's quite possibly our favorite Asteroids game on any Atari system of all time. It contains everything an Asteroids aficionado would like, with a very modern feel. From the flow of the beautiful vector graphics to the multiple gameplay modes, this is a clear winner on the Jaguar. From its simple power-up system, blazing soundtrack, and beautiful scrolling playfield, it shines in every way possible. It contains the original saucers to fire at, as well as a series of bonus waves that remind us of both Space Duel and Galaga. It is a 4.9 out of 5 rating in the Atari Age store. Again, let's look at a comparison video between the captured version and the emulated version, just to get some more clarity on the graphics. Finally, we have the Atari VCS Asteroids from 2021. I had to play the Windows Steam version of this Atari VCS release title, and it's very fun and well made. You have the choice of 3 modes, Classic, Recharged, and Classic Recharged, where you have the option of the power-ups from the Recharged version. All play a very, very nice Classic Vector version of the Rock Blaster. My favorite being the Classic Recharged because I love firing 7-way missiles at the cartoonish rocks. Moby Games has a 75% compiled review score for this from 3 reviews. But as a note, all 3 of these are for the non-VCS versions of the game. So that was number 4, the 4th edition of our Asteroids Games on Atari Machines video series. Next time we're going to have a number 5, and the 5th one is going to include any games that we missed, and also any games you guys tell me that I missed, because I may not know. So if I missed any games in this edition, especially because Lynx, Jaguar, and 7800 aren't necessarily as documented as well as I could find for the Atari computers. So if you know of any other versions, put them below and I'll add them to the 5th video. And if you know of any versions for the 2600, Atari 8-bit, Atari ST that I missed, please add them also, and I'll add them to video number 5. But what video number 5 is going to mostly be about is our top 10 favorite Asteroids versions across all of Atari home systems. Okay, until next time, into the vertical blank. Now let me get back and try and do my ship hunt in Atari 7800 Asteroids. Oh no!
An 8-Bit Rocket Studios production.